Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Data Engineer 1. If you're new to the channel, this channel is set up to help any new data engineers, data scientists, figure out how to write data pipelines. We're starting a new series today, and this series is called Let's Write Pipes. And so in this first video, we're going to be walking through a pipeline that I've written called YouTube Slides, which allows you to take notes more easily on YouTube videos. So the purpose of this pipeline is, say, for example, you have a video like this video right here, Explore Your Microservices Architecture with Graph Theory. This is a really great video, a great talk, but what if I want to take notes on this slide? The thing is that it's actually a little bit tricky to, number one, grab all the slides from this talk, as well as transcribe all of the speaker's words. And so I want to have a form of this YouTube video that gets the slides as well as the transcript from the talk. And so that's what this pipeline does right here. It will take any YouTube video and then output a very nice little set of screenshots as well as captions that make it much easier to put this into something like Evernote. So you can use like WebClicker Evernote, put it into your Evernote as well as then uh, take notes on it. Okay, so I'm going to be going ahead and we're going to be talking about this pipeline today. So let's get started. So first, what we're going to be taking a look at is the pipeline itself. There's only a few nodes in the pipeline, but there's a few more inputs and outputs that they have. So starting off, we're going to take a look at this identity function. What this identity function does is it takes video of URLs, downloads them, and then outputs them for us. So as you can see here, there is a very simple pipeline. We just take a bunch of video URLs, push them through an identity function, and then output them into the YouTube DL dataset. Now, what this dataset does in particular is the special part of it. So if we go ahead and take a look at that dataset, right here, this is something that we've written very similar to our custom datasets video. I've tweaked it such that it can actually take a list of URLs, and what it does is it uses YouTube DL in order to download this list of URLs. If you want to take a look at a more comprehensive breakdown of what this dataset actually does, you should take a look at that YouTube video. I'll link in the description. Then what it does is at the very end, it'll output all the metadata as well as the file path for that particular YouTube video. When you load this video, this is when it comes in as an input, it will actually take all of the files inside of that folder where you're saving your YouTube videos, and it'll find any of the YAML files which contain all of these descriptions, and then output that back as a YouTube data named tuple. So it's going to be a dictionary of strings, which are the video IDs, and then the YouTube data named tuple. Okay, so once we have these YouTube DL um, data bits, the YouTube DL data, what we want to do is we want to start to aggregate all the subtitles. So this will take in the YouTube DL as well as this thing time segments seconds. So this time segment seconds is a parameter that comes from the params, which dictates exactly how many seconds we want to start aggregating our videos on. Maybe like 30 seconds, 45, 60, whatever you have. It will aggregate the captions of those time segments. So say, for example, here, we have our keyed subtitles, and it takes this time segment in, and it parses the subtitles. So the subtitles come in a VTT format. Taking a look at the format itself, what you can see is you can see this like arrow which shows the duration of a particular segment as well as the caption that is associated with that duration. So what I've done very simply is I just find any of these lines that have this arrow, and then I take the very next line and take that as the caption for that particular time frame. So what gets output is a dictionary filled with each of these first times and then the caption underneath. Then what it does is it aggregates. So for all of those captions, it will parse this string, getting the minutes and seconds, and then it determines, like for the next bunch of them, are they within our time segment time frame? So for example, if it's 45 seconds, it'll look for everything that's 45 seconds after this 19, right? And then 45 seconds after that 19 goes out to, probably out to the next minute. And then it'll take all of those captions aggregate them together into a list, and then output that into a new data set. So this right here is the aggregated subtitles. And you can see, you can take a look at this, where it does the aggregation, and it outputs that data set. By the way, all of this code is also in the description. I've open sourced it on my GitHub page, so you can take a look at that in the description. So next, what we're going to do is we're actually going to capture the frames themselves. So this uses OpenCV in order to actually read the video file and then load in the actual screenshot frames. Yeah, so it's really, really cool. The way that it does it is it takes first the YouTube DL, which will show it where the video file is itself, as well as the keyed subtitles. So that was the one that we had here, the aggregates, so it knows what the timing is, and then it does this thing where it takes this processed video time. So processed video times, this is something that I call chrono coding. There will be a video about it later, but suffice to say, it allows us to save state for this captured frames, so that we know what are the frames we've already captured so we don't have to recapture them, since capturing frames is a little bit of an intense process. We'll have another video that explains that later. For now, suffice it to say that we're going to go through the video itself based on all of the timings. So these timings come from our caption file. So the key that we use for our aggregate captions, we're going to use that time key as the timing inside of the video that we want to capture our video screenshots from. So this will grab all the screenshots based on those timings, and it'll output it as another dictionary. And that dictionary will be the timings of the dictionary, as well as the screenshots as the key. And so finally, what we do is we're going to combine those images and subtitles. So the YouTube DL will give us all of our metadata finally. And so that metadata is the title, the description, and we're going to use that title and description as well as all the other bits, right, which are the screenshots, the images, as well as the subtitles. We're going to combine them together into a final HTML file. And so here's this combine images and subtitles for every single video that comes into this node. We're going to combine all those images and subtitles. So we pass in the title, the description, the screenshots, as well as the subtitles themselves. And then what we do is we push them into this HTML. So we have a template for every single caption row. We take the image as well as the captions that are associated with that image. So this image source, what we're doing is we're actually base64 encoding that image and just directly feeding that image into the HTML file itself. That way we don't have to handle all these extra image pointers. And then finally, we're adding in the title as well as the description into the HTML itself. We output this HTML, and that HTML gets written finally as these HTML text data sets. So this is another incremental data set. And then the final result is, as you see here, if we were to run that pipeline, so we can do Kedro run, we are going to be getting that output. And then what we need to do also is we need to make sure that we have our Python HTTP server. So this serves our directory so we can actually grab that HTML. When we serve the directory to grab the HTML, this enables us to use our web clipper from Evernote, and then we can go ahead and save this particular set of notes into our architecture. We can say this is a go-to talks, and then we can save this clip, save it right into my Evernote, and then I can look at that later in Evernote and take my notes. Okay, well, that just about does it for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed something, and if you really like this video, don't forget to button that like, sub that scribe, and ring that ding if you want to know when I'm pipelining. Okay, take care everyone, and I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.